I'd like to first start to introduce to you my first guest who will honor my book. Her name is Jacquelyn Sheppard, who is an author of the book Silent Takeover. She is also a researcher, educator, counselor, and the person that I love so dearly for her genuine heart, servant leadership, and always putting others first before her. A true lion at heart. I'd like to call on Jackie if you are there. Can I ask you a question, Jackie?
Absolutely, Kat.
Jackie, on chapter 4, it's the pursuit of greatness. I wish to ask you and tell us a story of how you found courage in life and achieved greatness within.
I am 77 years old and have spent the last 50 years in research as well as working mainly with young people with learning and behavior problems, as well as leading a high school of learning of high-risk teenagers, and then working with people with mental, emotional problems as well as addiction. You know, when, I sort of just want to bounce back, Kai, to the way we all think as children. People often would say to all of us when we were children, they would say things like, so what do you want to be when you grow up? If someone asked us a question and we said, well, I want to grow up and be a fireman, I want to grow up and be a nurse, a doctor, a teacher, that was about as far as we could get. The decision to be great probably wasn't even a part of what we were thinking. We just got out, we started trying, we started doing our best. And that best, I'm not sure you can do your best with anything unless you care about people. And that's one of the things, Kai, that we all love about you, is that you care so deeply about people. So as we are going into whatever our calls are, whatever our journey in life is, we can just be, and since I was a teacher, I'll just use that as an example. You can be a teacher, but there's a good chance your students might not remember you. But if you're a great teacher, your students will not only remember you, they will begin to apply life lessons that you have taught them. But I think that, Kai, you would probably agree with me that as we get more and more involved in what we're doing, not just trying to be successful, everyone wants successful, but as we get more and more involved in just the beauty of life itself, even in these crisis moments that we've been living in America, there's still so much beauty in life that sometimes when we hear the term great applied, we may be surprised to hear it. We're like, well, I didn't think about myself that way. But I want to say this about chapter 4. I think chapter 4 is just such a significant chapter because you point out several things, and I'm just going to use some of your own words. Number one, you say that even ordinary people can achieve greatness. And when I read that, I thought that's so true. We're not necessarily born great. And our lack of greatness, maybe we didn't have great parents, maybe we didn't have great this, that, or the other. It doesn't have to hold us back from becoming great. And I think another thing that you said that was so important has to deal with the fact that we come to personal crossroads, where we've got to learn to make the best decisions, the wisest decisions. And those decisions, whenever they're great, whenever they're wise, whenever they're best, in my mind, always means that you are considering the other person, that you are trying to not just pull yourself up, perhaps by your own bootstraps, but bringing somebody else up too, giving them that helping hand. The other thing that I thought was so good that you said in this chapter is that we have to instill in our hearts and in our minds the things that we can do to make positive differences. People want to make a difference. We've got some people who want to make a difference. We're listening and talking about them and we're watching them. But is it positive? What we want are positive differences in people's lives. Another thing that you said was so great was that greatness involves wanting to go beyond the status quo. Anyone can achieve normal. Anyone can achieve average. But wanting to go beyond that, the desiring to do something better, and becoming so involved in doing that something better that when you look behind, you see that people are following you. A lot of times people don't realize they're leaders. They didn't even think of themselves as being leaders until they look behind, and there's a lot of people following them. And that's what's happening with you. So many people are following you, Kai. They're looking up to you. They're admiring you because you're giving them hope. You're giving them hope that a little girl from the Philippines can change the world, and that she made for herself. And I am a woman of faith, so I have to say, by being willing to follow the Lord, she's made for herself a great place. And that part of that great place is in our hearts. There's one thing I want to say that applies to all of us, and it especially applies to you, my beautiful, beautiful young friend that I love so dearly. And that's the statement that one of my high school teachers said to me. It's not original with that high school teacher, and you've probably heard it yourself. And that's the quotation: "There's always room at the top." And you have aspired to go there. You're on your way. And we applaud you. We celebrate you. And we don't believe anything's going to hold you back, Kai, from the greatness that you have already achieved, and even more greatness that lies ahead as you move further into your destiny. We love you, and we're honored to be a part of tonight.
Wonderful, Jackie. Wow. I believe that you have wowed our audience, everybody who's listening tonight. What a great words of wisdom. And I am so ever humbled for all your kind words to me, and for sharing your wisdom, for sharing great values to all of our viewers, because you're right. No matter how lowly we are, no matter how we don't have those necessary tools and resources, we can still become great if we want to be. Because there's always two choices, Jackie: to be the child of light or to be the child of darkness.
Right.
And so I am here inviting you to join my crusade. Let us become the child of light. And so, Jackie, I love you, and thank you, by the way, for staying late nights with me editing those manuscripts. I really appreciate that, and you have become so dear to me, and I love you. Thank you. It's an honor for you to be here with us tonight. I am deeply humbled. Thank you.